I did it because Mildred and I were constantly going back and forth in order for us to gain more clarity if there's anyone else out there or if it's actually our problems that we need to work on.
I feel like that makes no sense.
She's right. The Ultimatum Queer Love episodes 1 through 4 couldn't have been more bonkers, and yet episodes 5 through 8 are even more bonkers.
Being respectful has no race.
Who am I? Do I love myself?
Are you physically involved as well?
This is a recap of episodes 5 through 8. Look out for my finale/reunion recap next week. Also, if you aren't following me on Insta or TikTok, I have been posting clips from the watch party hosted by Yoli in Chicago that I had the pleasure of attending. All that is linked in the comments. We start episode 5 off with Xander and Yoli, and I keep thinking, okay, is somebody going to reference the giant hickey on Xander's neck? While the show quickly moves on, Yoli did confirm at the watch party this is her lipstick on Xander's neck. Yoli reveals to Xander that Vanessa and Ray hooked up.
Is it platonic? Is it romantic? Is it sexual? Or is it none of the above? And she's saying it's none of the above. So I'm like, so you just like this girl or had sex with this girl for fun?
This is just simply unacceptable.
For what? Or are you just here to anybody around?
It amazes me that these cast members can excoriate Vanessa for doing the exact same thing they're doing. Speaking of Vanessa, Vanessa comes home from the group night out and immediately lies to Ray. Says Lexi told the group Ray bragged to everybody about their hookup before the Lexi stands come for me. By the way, I said she was my Big Brother winner pick in the last recap. Before the Lexi stands come for me, I have to admit this takes Vanessa up from like villain to sociopath because she has to know we're all going to watch all of this back. It's like a half lie because it's the way she's framing it that's a lie. Like, would Ray would never brag about anything. Ray has no self-esteem. But it's like half true because Lexi did totally tell everyone about the hookup. I want to add a lot of people online were referring to the hookup between Vanessa and Ray as... And Ray herself sets the record straight about that.
I wasn't pressured. It was consensual.
At the other end of our San Diegan complex, Lexi is absolutely shooketh. She has decided the Vanessa Ray hookup is her fault.
If I had never figured Vanessa out, if she ever would have slept with Ray.
What? Do you think that she's out to get you?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to wonder if Lexi came into this feeling like there was absolutely no world in which Ray did anything other than continue to want Lexi the whole time. Also, can we just pause to take note of the Succession-style piano accompaniment?
You talked about it and it like put you in a weird space. And you have to know that. Like, I didn't want to talk about Vanessa so much. And it's just not fair. You literally have to let it go.
Died because I just watched the finale and like I'm watching this and I'm all in my darkness thinking like half expecting Shiv to pop out and be like the baby's tips. Back at Mildred and Aussie's, they are continuing to struggle communication wise.
I hope you know how much I care about you.
If you care about me, then we should have a conversation. Why do you think that our conversation is negative?
Your tone.
Is that how you associate confrontation?
Your tone of voice.
Is this what you do to her?
You wanna ask
Is
her?
this what you do to Sam?
Aussie is not having it, and these scenes are so fascinating to me. I'm like, can you imagine what Aussie and Sam's relationship is like? Every time the shit hits the fan, your partner's out the door. And then on the way out, Aussie's like,
I'm not willing to talk to you when you're in this mood.
And Mildred probably very accurately responds.
Well, this is the only mode I have.
Mildred, you're not the Energizer Bunny. It's like, find another mode to visit occasionally.
Marriage isn't the thing that I made it out to be. Maybe I'm not ready for it ever.
Ding, 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 ding. I keep wondering why we haven't moved on from this beat in the episode. But then I realize, hilariously, it's because Mildred's just gonna have the conversation she wanted to have with Aussie with herself.
I just really wish she would take out the trash. Just wish she would have talked to me or listened to me when I was going through something, you know?
Having all of these like feelings from like being abandoned in my life. My mother abandoned me when I was 5 years old. Then my father left.
This is terrible. Holy
Tell us what's going on.
Mal meets Lexi's parents, and Lexi makes sure that they know Vanessa has Ray.
Ray did have like an intimate moment with someone else here.
Lexi's mom is like very reasonable.
I mean, you were broken up.
She also calls out the very questionable Lexi and Mal so ready for marriage vibes.
I think you guys may be rushing into it if you think that you're going to be able to get married after this. I think it's great that you guys are getting along, but I don't think you guys are ready for any next steps. That's just my belief. Do you feel that? I mean, are you ready to make such a commitment to each other like that?
She's like, I don't know, it just kind of seems like anyone who goes on a reality dating show shouldn't be getting married.
Okay.
She just happens to also be with the person that Ray's living with's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Look at Lexi's mom's face. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, Yoli said at the watch party that Lexi's dad was a snack.
Oh, yeah.
We go straight from Lexi's parents to Vanessa's dad, Mark. It is very fascinating to kind of get a little bit of a picture of how the Vanessa sausage was made. Her dad is divorced. He's talking about marriage being like a 7-year lease. Like, clearly this has had an impact on Vanessa.
When the institution of marriage started, people didn't live to be 80, 90 like we do now. So it wasn't quote unquote life sentence.
If you compare Lexi, who seems so sure about marriage, to Vanessa, like, the math adds up. A seemingly healthy, happy marriage has been modeled to Lexi, while a seemingly healthy, happy, divorced, single dad has been modeled to Vanessa. We get our first L-word moment. No, I don't mean lesbian. I mean love.
I know that I've known for a while that I've loved you.
Lexi meets Mal's friend Alicia, whose face reminds us how weird the premise of this show is.
I'm her wife.
What?
Next, they take us to a different location to explore different new dynamics. I'm just kidding. We do the exact same thing we been doing, and we meet Tiff's friend, Natasha. I used to think Sam represented us, the audience. Nope, I don't think that anymore. It's Natasha. Natasha is me every 5 seconds while watching this show.
Why did you do this?
Natasha is so blunt. Like, all the parents are kind of like carefully wading through this like cesspool of a show. Like, what is this? Natasha comes through on a jet ski, just, this is weird.
I did it because Mildred and I were constantly going back and forth in order for us to gain more clarity if there's anyone else out there or if it's actually our problems that we need to work on.
I feel like that makes no sense.
She's right.
Because if the relationship isn't working, then you should end it.
No. If the relationship isn't working, go on reality television. Officially, team not Tiff and Mildred. They should not be together. Not because of anything they did, but literally just because I trust Natasha.
I don't think that Tiff and Mildred are right for each other.
If Natasha says it, I'm sorry, but it's probably true. I know, it's like I've only known Natasha for 2 minutes, but like already I would trust Natasha with my unborn child. Also, Natasha is pretty hot, just with like commanding everybody what to do.
Hold hands right now.
Oh, I'll hold hands. Although, look out, Tiff! Natasha coming in hot for your trial wife.
Here, I'll hold your hand. Can't buy the car without.
I know.
Tried to kiss each other, tried to touch each other.
Wait a sec. Is Natasha actually just one of the producers of the show? It looks to me like she's just trying to get some more hookup footage. So we get one final night with all the trial wife couples. Lexi really seems like she is trying to put it on Mal hard.
Ah, what is in there? What did you do?
Just used a finger.
So sexy. Because we only have tonight. Like, you know, I'm just feeling more. I'm trying not to shy away from you. Getting to that next step.
Maybe I'm reading something into this that's not there, but like to me, Mal could not be less interested in hooking up with Lexi tonight. Look at how Mal is talking to Lexi with like her entire body turned away from Lexi. Yoli and Xander say goodbye to each other.
I'm looking at my lips. What, you want to kiss them?
Girl, we are all looking at your lips. They're like 2 frosted cupcakes just coming straight at you, like in the best way. We begin episode 6 at the passive-aggressive banquet table with everyone all dressed up. Tiff in their powder blue vest, Aussie looking fresh with the bow tie. Oh yeah, Aussie's back. Don't blink though.
It started off really well, and then that last week, I pulled out.
You pulled out.
Joanna showing off her acting skills. I had no idea. Although, maybe they didn't tell her. Maybe Joanna just like rolls up a few minutes before filming starts and is just like, says her lines and then just goes home. Like, get that paycheck, Joe. Ray lets the group therapy table know that she has discovered she has some negative self-talk.
I think I have a lot of negative self-talk.
Well, obviously.
Lexi, either via editor magic or because it actually happened, appears to be rolling her eyes. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna piss the Lexi stands off again. I did like, okay, like Lexi through this whole experience has just been like the experience, and her and Mal and blah, blah, blah. But like Ray can't have growth. Okay, like I apologize if you weren't actually rolling your eyes.
I've said it a few times, like if it was someone else, I think I would have different feelings towards it. If it was Yoli, like I trust like the goodness in your heart.
Lexi asserting that if Ray would have hooked up with Yoli, she would have thrown them a happy hookup party. Do we believe this? I actually think there is some truth to it. But I'm curious of what you all think, so let me know in the comments. Vanessa has the itch to make some Insta poetry.
I came to this experience questioning whether marriage in general. Please accept this apology and know that regardless of my views on marriage, I value you all.
Turns out it's like an apology to the group. I feel like because the group hates her? Because, like, I'm sorry you hate me? Yoli doesn't waste any time giving her opinion.
I think that your apology is performative.
I know people are going to disagree with this because I was in a lesbian bar and every time Vanessa came on screen, people booed. But what do they want from her here? Like, she's trying to be nice. I mean, this is to me a lesson to everybody in that, like, sometimes you can go too far and like there's nothing you can do. People will write you off and like maybe they're justified.
But like leave that little piece of openness in your heart.
Xander is still trying to protect Vanessa. I'm like wondering, is this gonna factor into Yoli's decision? Then Yoli makes such a convincing speech that Mal is like, well, should we even do it? If you're already like, do you even want to do the 3 weeks?
It sounds like you've had a great experience and it sounds like, I don't know how happy you are to come back and try your 3 weeks here. Are you excited to come back?
Then, holy shit, y'all, this is crazy. Then Vanessa is like,
I want a marriage with you now.
What? Do we believe there is even a chance that there's some truth to this? I'm only asking because it feels kind of real. Like this love triangle, love quad, octagon, I don't know what it is. Like if there's some, it feels real. I mean, look at her face. Somebody put that girl in a movie. This feels like so real. Dinner over. They all gotta go back to their original partners now. When Vanessa and Xander get back to their place, Vanessa is like a pod person to me. I do not recognize the person I'm seeing on my screen.
What I was trying to do was grow to the point of wanting to marry you.
What happened to the girl riding a me rocket ready to blast off with anyone who wasn't Xander? Like, I'm watching this and I'm remembering her tell Xander how terrified she was of Xander's love.
Well, I don't know what to even do with that information.
And y'all, when I tell you my lesbian eyeballs nearly popped out of my head when Vanessa starts grilling Xander about whether there were mouths involved in the hookup.
What physical level did you reach with Yoli? We did have sex. Like with mouths.
Again, what will the straights think of us? And then Vanessa just sits in Xander's lap, like, and scene. And I'm just like so confused and like titillated by this show. Mal gets back and starts giving love to their dog, Margot. Great moment for Mal, very hot. These second installment of episodes like really show us why there's like thousands of lesbians and now questioning straight women thirsting after her. Yoli confesses to Mal that she's in love with Xander.
I fell in love with Xander.
No, this is like lesbian Notebook. I waited for you for 3 years. This is compelling lesbian content. And when Mal tells Yoli that they still want to have a family with Yoli, my heart is torn. I am torn between the two couples. And I start to see Yoli and Xander a little bit more as a chemical reaction. We get this incredibly real moment from Mal when Mal says,
"My ego is shattered."
Lexi and Rey go on a beach date, and Rey again reminds us how hard it was for her to do this.
You know how hard it was for me to say yes to do this.
I never have a space in your home. I never have more than like a drawer and some hangers. You didn't give me commitment, you gave me a key.
Okay, but ooh, Lexi stands are gonna come for me again. Am I the only one who feels like when she says this line, she is saying it for the trailer? Lexi feels like she hasn't been put first by Rey. She says if they didn't do the show, maybe Rey would have cheated on her.
I feel like the last 3 years of our life was a joke.
I think when Lexi tells Rey she feels like their last 3 years have been a joke, I think this is it. This nails it on the head. I think Lexi is a little embarrassed, surprised, caught off guard maybe. And then when Rey was like,
Who am I? Do I love myself?
oh my God, I felt that harder than I've ever felt anything on TV. Vanessa discovers Xander has been messaging Yoli on Instagram, and Vanessa's all like, not the winky faces.
I also saw that she asked you for a selfie and you sent her pictures and there's like hot emojis and stuff, winky faces.
Oh, look what you made me do.
I love you. Say it back. Fucking say it back, Xander. Me too.
I have to be honest, I found this scene to be disturbing. Not the most disturbing scene of this series of episodes because it's just so intense, but like this bothered me. Like, this is not the fun villain anymore.
How many times would you say you guys break up and get back
Tiff
together?
knows the number.
I love that we get Natasha back. Like, thank God, I never knew how much I needed Natasha in my life. Natasha does nothing but throw truth bombs.
Don't rush anything. You shouldn't feel pressured into getting married.
We learned some new information. We learned that Rey, before they went on the trial period, had promised Lexi that she wouldn't sleep with Vanessa. And we learned this in front of Lexi's parents.
What would you do in an experience with the person that you know just betrayed your trust and was intimate with someone else? I didn't ask you to promise me you weren't gonna sleep with Vanessa, and then you promised me that.
It's just a very uncomfortable scene of Lexi and her mom grilling Rey. Also, I feel like, is telling your parents this normal? Maybe the producers forced them to do this, but like, I would never, ever sit there and let my partner's parents dissect our relationship. Nope. No. Okay, episode 7. I'm thinking surely this will be a break from all the lesbianic craziness. Nope. Tiff and Mildred have a lovely fireside chat about how one avoids interrupting.
When do I have permission to speak?
It's a common
Because
respect.
now that you're telling me that I interrupt you, when we're having a conversation clearly.
Like even just now, you spoke over me.
Okay, so how do I not feel like I'm interrupting you all the time?
But you do that by not interrupting.
Mildred, like, can't fathom not opening her mouth the second something enters her brain.
I'm a Latina, and when you're with Latinos, like, everybody speaks over everybody.
And I'm an asshole, and I tend to speak over people.
Okay, you can stop being an asshole, but I can't stop being a Latina.
This is when we get this great line from the trailer.
Being respectful has no race.
What I get out of this conversation is that Mildred has absolutely no intention of changing at all. And she's probably gonna go home after this and find somebody new who will let her talk over them. After learning Aussie's home friends suck asshole,
Even my closest friends back home in Australia still calls me by my dead name.
we get to meet Aussie's brother Ron, who I knew he was gonna be great the moment I saw his hair.
My family's pretty accepting. They're very open-minded. We play board games.
What a family.
I love that for Ron, a family playing board games is like the epitome of heavenly perfection. We learn Aussie is not out to Aussie's parents, and oh my God, this explains so much. I am sitting here wondering, like, how much did Netflix pay these people? Because How they got somebody closeted to come onto this show is incredible. Mildred and Tiff finally have a healthy conversation, but it terrifies me because I still don't think they should be together. I'm sorry. One healthy conversation does not erase 857 breakups. The group all meets up again, and there is tension in the air. Mal lets us know that Vanessa has messaged them to rat out Xander and Yoli. I think pretty much the entire audience applauded when Mal describes Vanessa as somebody who thinks they're a fire starter but is actually a fruit fly. I mean, she's wrong. Like literally 5 seconds later, Vanessa has smoke going between Yoli and Mal.
Yoli had asked for a selfie and made me uncomfortable, like...
Well, but I didn't hear that when you told me.
And I didn't think that happened.
Nobody wants to talk to Vanessa.
What do you want?
How do you feel about the decision?
It just happened. I just don't understand.
Poor Vanessa, you can tell. She has literally no idea what it's like to be the outcast. Like, she didn't have to worry about who she was gonna sit with in high school because she absolutely is confused. Xander hugs the out of Yoli, and I'm just like, they brought me back. I'm just like torn. Who do I want? Maybe I just love Yoli. The group meetup basically turns into Mal and Xander fighting for Yoli.
Okay. Go for it. Wake up.
I had to turn the captions on to make sure I heard this correctly, but Mal literally tells Yoli, break up! Then we get a super honest convo between Mal and Xander.
I don't think you guys came in here intentionally like, I'm gonna fall for this other person. But like, regardless of all this shit, I love Yoli, period.
And I am on the edge of my seat. I cannot believe this is happening.
And I still choose her.
Then the whole gang does a circle up.
She's like, I want you like kissing her.
I'm sorry, I know you guys are talking about something serious, but somebody said bring Yoli in here and talk about it. Grab your purse. Nice relationship right now, but...
Oh, God.
We're gonna do this. It's going down. We're all having this discussion.
And I was just asking you, Xander, I'm curious to know if you choose Yoli the same way I choose Yoli.
Xander chooses themselves and says, hey, this isn't decision night. Like, I'm sure the producers in the corner were like, oh my God, thank God. Lexi, not satisfied with the burnt hot dogs and hamburgers they made earlier, continues grilling Ray.
I just wanted you to not look at her and to just not talk to her.
Have I mentioned how great this cast is? Lexi, I know I give you a hard time, but I too relate to being a jealous bee. Because when you're a jealous you do jealous things. And of course, like, Lexi is in the wrong here. She is completely lost her mind. Don't look at her. That's unreasonable, sweetie. She tells Ray Vanessa is calculated, which I feel like Ray for sure already knows this. Just as heart-wrenching is Mal and Yoli, who have continued the convo that was taking place at the bar, alone back at their apartment.
You can't have us both.
What I can't lie about is that the romance is not there for me.
Because I can do that. I can commit to that.
Like, I don't even have words. I am just so compelled by it. Like, I cannot say it enough how compelling these scenes are. Vanessa tells Xander she wants them to end up together. We end episode 7 watching Xander big spoon Vanessa, which is somewhat shocking. I mean, maybe it was editor magic, but like, after everything that took place at the thing between Xander and Yoli, I didn't expect her hand to turn into a weed whacker. Episode 8 starts with a sunrise by the bay, and what a great shooting location San Diego has been. Sam and Aussie have a full-on fight with Sam's friend Charmaine acting as mediator.
I haven't seen it from you that you're different.
You haven't seen the new Sam?
And I can see it coming. I can see it coming from far away. Like, Aussie's gonna leave, and like, that's exactly what Aussie does. Charmaine goes to talk to Aussie, and I wanna know, where are they getting these friends and family members from? Are these actors? How are they all so good on camera and therapists? What is happening? Instead of telling Sam how Aussie feels, Aussie yells at the air.
What about my version, which was like, I didn't mean to make you mad.
And then Aussie has a complete breakdown.
You know where it takes me back to? Is my childhood. I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. I didn't do it.
At this point, for me, it's getting scary. And I think I'm wondering, like, oh, should they have kept filming? Should they maybe cut the cameras? It's just getting a little too real. And I'm starting to think, like, I just want Aussie to get help. I'm hoping another visit from Mountain Man Mark will lighten the mood a little. But it's just another parent therapy session, and again, is this normal?
I have been like super guarded.
Guarded with me, not with yours.
Oh yeah, sorry. I've been guarded. Yeah, I've been guarded with Vanessa.
Like, I don't know. My parents are demons. Does this happen? Do people have like intimate talks about their relationship with their parents? Well, at least Mark has some wise words for his sweet baby Vanessa.
It's undeniable that a part of that is you don't want to lose Andrew.
Good news is, things are about to stay awkward, with Yoli confessing to Mal's friend Alicia that she's in love with Xander.
What is the oh shit part?
The oh shit was me falling in love with Xander.
I'm sorry. If I'm Alicia and my best friend is sitting there, I'm not even hiding it. I'm like, Mel, call it a day. I mean, by the time we get to the part where Yoli's like revealing they've discussed the future finances for the kids, I'm like, get out of there.
Finances. She is on the right kind of insurance that would cover. She also has money aside that would cover any kind of like outside expenses. And she
saw that account?
I'm Team Mel on this. Maybe because I literally have never experienced what it's like to set aside money for something. But like, Sam gives like the greatest "it's okay to be queer even if your parents suck" speech.
If this person sees me being my full authentic self as a bad thing, then what are they doing in my life? We should be surrounded by people who empower us and make us feel like we are amazing and beautiful and strong and all of those things.
Yeah. Vanessa makes one last plea to Xander, gets what I hope is one last bang sesh in with Xander, and we say goodbye to the trial wife phase. One final note while the show teases us with which choice Yoli is going to make. My wife actually mentioned this to me because we live in the same city as Yoli, and I can't believe that it took her bringing it up for me to consider this, but have we thought about the fact that none of the new couples will live close to each other? Like, how do you, in good conscience, get engaged to somebody who you will immediately be in a long-distance relationship with? Like, does Xander live in Hawaii? I don't know why I thought that, but like, is it true? Find out next time on my YouTube channel when I recap the finale and reunion. Thank you to all the patrons supporting this channel. You are the legs holding it up, so I can't thank you enough. All right, subscribe and all that other bullshit.
Oh yeah.